Your boss is standing over your desk, and he is not lowering his voice. He wants everyone to hear it. That is the point. He could have said it quietly, in his office, with the door closed. Instead, he says it here, in the open, while the whole floor pretends not to listen and hears every single word. He holds up your work, and he tells you it is not good enough. He tells you that you are not good enough. He asks, with a small smile, whether you actually thought this would impress anyone. And a couple of your co-workers glance up, and one of them almost smiles, and you feel your face go hot. You say nothing. What is there to say? You just sit there and take it, because you need this job, and he knows you need this job, and that is exactly why he can do this to you in front of everyone. He walks away. The floor goes back to normal, and you sit there, staring at your screen, feeling smaller than you have ever felt in your life. But here is what your boss doesn't know. He doesn't know that you are building something. That every night, after you leave this place where they make you feel like nothing, you go home and you work on something that is yours. That night, you tell your friends about it. You are at a table, all of you together, and for once, you feel brave, and you say it out loud. You tell them what you are building. You tell them what you believe it could become. And they laugh. Not one of them. All of them. The whole table. One of them nearly chokes on his drink. Another shakes his head and says the thing everyone says. Be realistic. Your closest friend, the one you thought would understand, laughs the hardest of all. He tells you that people like you do not build things like that. He says it like he is doing you a favor, like he is saving you from yourself. You laugh along with them. Of course you do. What else can you do at a table where you are the joke? But inside, something quietly closes. You go home that night, and you sit alone in your room, and you understand something for the first time. Nobody is coming to help you. Nobody believes in this except you. There is no one standing beside you. There is no one in your corner. It is just you, and the thing you are trying to build, and a whole world that has already decided you are going to fail. And this is the moment most people quit. Right here. When the boss has humiliated you, and the friends have laughed, and the loneliness settles in like a cold you cannot shake. You do not quit. Instead, you do something quiet and stubborn, and almost invisible. You sit back down, and you get to work. Let me show you what that work actually looks like, because nobody ever shows you this part. It looks like being awake at 2 in the morning when the whole world is asleep. The only light on in the entire building is yours. Your eyes burn, your back aches, and you keep going. It looks like going to that job every single day, letting them belittle you, swallowing it, clocking out. And then, when you should be exhausted, when you have every reason to rest, going home and starting your real work at 9 at night and pushing until the sun comes up. It looks like weekends that do not exist anymore. While everyone else is out living, you're at your desk. Saturday, Sunday. It all blurs into one long stretch of work that nobody sees and nobody claps for. It looks like doing the same thing over and over and over and getting nothing back. No sign, no reward, no proof that any of it is working. Just the quiet voice every morning whispering that maybe they were right about you. It looks like losing things. Sleep. Weekends. Friends who stop calling because you always say you are busy. The easy, relaxed version of yourself who used to laugh freely. That person fades, and in his place is someone quieter, someone with tired eyes, and one single thing burning in his chest that will not let him stop. You keep going anyway, night after night, alone. And then comes the day that almost breaks you completely. Every person who has ever built anything meets this day. The day the evidence against you becomes overwhelming. Every number, every fact, Every reasonable voice inside your head says the same thing. Stop. You tried. Didn't work. Go back to being normal. Save what little you have left. You sit alone that night, and you do the math, and the math says you are a fool. Your hand hovers over the decision to give up. And the cruelest part is that nobody would blame you. Everybody would understand. Your boss would smirk and feel proven right. Your friends would nod and say they told you so, and they would mean it kindly. Quitting in that moment is the easiest and most reasonable thing in the entire world. This is the moment that decides everything. Not your talent, not your idea. This, whether you can stay in the fight for one more round when every sensible reason on earth is telling you to walk away. You do not quit. Not because you are sure, you are terrified. Your hands are shaking. You do not quit because underneath all the exhaustion and doubt, a small, stubborn voice says one thing. Not yet. One more day. Just one. So you wipe your eyes, and you sit back down, and you do the work one more time. And here is the secret nobody understands until they have lived it. Success almost never arrives when you are strong. It arrives just past the moment you are weakest, one step beyond where most people finally let go. The ones who make it are not the ones who never wanted to quit. They are the ones who wanted to quit and did the work anyway. Then one day, quietly, when you have half stopped expecting it, something moves. It is small. So small, you almost miss it. A single sign that the thing is alive. That something you built with your own hands actually worked. That the ground you have been watering alone in the dark for all these months just pushed up its first fragile green shoot. You stare at it. You almost cannot believe it. And then there is another. And another. It does not explode. That is a lie the movies tell. It builds. Slowly, then faster, then all at once. The thing you built begins to breathe on its own. The work that nobody saw starts to show. Every seed you planted in all those silent nights comes up at the same time. And suddenly, you, the person who had nothing to show for years, have everything to show at once. And the world that never looked at you while you struggled, suddenly cannot look away. Now watch what happens. Your boss finds out. The same man who stood over your desk and made you feel like nothing in front of everyone. Now he hears what you built. And the next time he sees you, something has changed in his face. The smugness is gone. He does not look down at you anymore. He cannot. You are past him now, and both of you know it. And your friends. That same table. The ones who laughed until they nearly choked. They see it too. They see the thing they told you was impossible, now real, now undeniable. And the laughing stops. Your closest friend, the one who laughed the hardest, can barely meet your eyes. Now he says, I always knew you would make it. I always believed in you. And you let him say it. You just smile and let him say it, because you understand something now that you did not understand before. They were never really laughing at you. They were laughing at the size of the gap between where you stood and where you said you were going. They could not see the bridge, because the bridge did not exist yet. You were building it in the dark, one plank at a time, night after night, while every one of them was asleep. But here is the part that surprises you most of all. Standing on the other side of it now, victorious, with everything you fought for finally in your hands, it does not feel the way you thought it would. You thought it would feel like revenge. It does not. You thought the sweetest part would be watching them eat their words. It is not. The sweetest part is quieter than that. It is the private knowledge, held only by you, that on the night the whole world told you to quit, you stayed. that when it would have been so easy to become exactly the person they expected you to be, you refused. That the version of you who wanted to give up at 2 in the morning was overruled, one more time, by the version who would not let go. That is the real victory. Not the money. Not the proof. Not their apologies. The simple fact that you did not abandon yourself on the night it would have been the reasonable thing to do. So if you are in the struggle right now, if a boss is making you feel small, if the people around you are laughing, if you are sitting alone with something you believe in and nobody in your corner, then understand this. The humiliation is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of it. The laughing does not mean you are wrong. It means they cannot see the bridge yet. And the day everything tells you to quit, that is not the day you lost. That is the day, if you stay, that you find out who you actually are. Everybody claps at the finish line. Almost nobody is there in the dark, at 2 in the morning, when the race is actually won. Be there. Stay in the fight one more round. Because the distance between the person they laughed at and the person they cannot stop talking about is just a handful of quiet nights when you refuse to quit.